Well, we are just a couple weeks out from the start of LCS. I'm joined right now by Sven from C9 with coverage presented by Alien. We're going to talk a little bit about how things are going ahead of the start of the season. How are things going on C9? What's been going on for the past couple of weeks?
So right after Worlds, we went back to Korea for another boot camp. Basically, we had a month off and went back to Korea, and we had a new member with us, Niski, which I think we basically spent a lot of time in Korea just working on a lot of synergy together, like just knowing him as a person and like how he likes to play the game and how we like to play the game, and just like we taught him a bunch of like stuff. So we just spent a lot of time like learning how to play the game together, because we had Jensen for a long time and we had a lot of stuff like we knew how to play the game together, but then obviously we had to learn it again with a new member. So yeah, I mean, we've just been practicing a lot with Niski, and I think he's doing super well.
Yeah, I was going to say, how is he integrating? Is it working okay?
Yeah, I think he's integrating a lot, like super good, because him and Eric, they're like super good friends already. So it's very easy for them to talk about matchups and stuff like this, because a lot of the champs that's good for mid lane is good for top lane too. So just having that solo lane synergy is pretty important, and I think me and Niski have a super good bond already as well. So like it's working really well so far.
Because a lot of people I think are fans of Golden Glue. Did Golden Glue go to Korea?
Yeah, the whole team went to Korea, and the academy and the main team or whatever. We don't really have a so far, but yeah. I mean, we all 10 players went, yeah.
The lines are officially blurred.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you get to do after the Korea trip? I assume you went home?
Yeah, so we stayed in Korea until the 24th December, and and then we had to travel. So I got home around like noon the 24th, and luckily I could get picked up on the airport by my mom, and then celebrate Christmas like the same day, which was pretty tough because of like traveling and jet lag, but we gotta do it for the practice, you know.
But that's right, because a lot of Europeans celebrate Christmas like on Christmas Eve, right?
The 24th, yeah, it's the day you celebrate.
Yeah. Why?
So ask my grandparents, I guess.
Do you call it Christmas Eve?
It's
Okay.
Christmas Eve, yeah.
So you acknowledge that it's the day before Christmas, but you celebrate it on the day before Christmas.
No, I mean it's Christmas Eve, right?
On the 24th.
I mean in Danish we call it juleaften, like Christmas Eve basically.
Okay.
So, but we don't do anything the 25th.
Okay. So, like even in Danish, it's said Christmas Eve. Yeah. It would be like because for me it would be like celebrating the 4th of July and the 3rd.
I mean, you can celebrate whenever you want, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean that's true, clearly. But so that must have been rough, because then you're landing on the same day that you're trying to celebrate. I'm sure, because an American organization, they're like, we'll get them there the day before, it'll be great, and you're like, what the hell? Like, that's unfortunate. And then when did you get back to the States and start practicing again here?
I went back right before New Year's, just to celebrate New Year's here in America. And we had scrims already the 3rd, I think, the 2nd or something. We had to start playing solo queue already, like the 30th or something, so just to get ready for scrims.
Yeah. Now, do you feel reset and refreshed? Because a lot of people got like longer downtime, and you guys played longer than any other North American team, so.
Yeah, I mean, obviously right now we're doing super well because we didn't have as long break as the other teams, so we're basically like clapping everyone we play against because they've all been like gone for so long, but we've just been practicing for a long time. So I think it could be an issue later on because we might get burned out because we've just been playing a lot longer than the other teams. But definitely right now it feels pretty good because we don't have to go through this learning process of like getting shit on by the other teams. Yeah. So right now we're the ones teaching the other teams, so like we're shitting on them so they get to learn a lot more, but hopefully we don't get like bad and then burn out.
Okay, so this is intriguing to me because I've been talking to a lot of different teams today who've been like, yeah, Team Liquid, like they're at it, they're killing it, like they're the guys to beat. And when I was interviewing the Team Liquid guys earlier, they were saying they don't feel like there's any other teams that are competition right now. I interview you, and you're like, I mean, we're so far ahead of everybody right now because we haven't had any time off. So it's interesting. This is a contradictory story I'm hearing, and I'm curious what you think of that.
I mean, TL just barely started scrimming. Yeah. And we've been scrimming a lot longer than they have, so
Do you feel like you're better than them right now?
We have not played against them because we played them in the first week, so
that makes sense.
we're trying to hide our abilities to defeat them, I guess.
So this is pretty hype, though, because it means that you are very confident in your team and your ability to do well, and so are TL, and so you guys are both going to go in thinking you're the best team.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think everyone on Cloud9 thinks we're going to be the best team to split, so I don't think we're going to be scared of going up against TL.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but a former teammate of yours is on TL. His name is Jensen. I don't know if you recall him. But I'm curious, do you feel like that's going to, is that going to be weird for you, or is that going to be interesting?
I mean, we all know certain ways that Jensen likes to play the game, which is quite abusable. So unless, because he's on TL, he all of a sudden can change all these bad habits, then we're going to be able to abuse those.
What if that's like the galaxy brain thing he's been doing? Is he like was faking all these flaws, and then he's going to be like, haha, it's like whenever you've been using the wrong hand in a fencing duel or something like that. It's like, haha, this entire time.
Holding back.
Yes. He's like, we could have made finals, but I want you guys to feel my wrath whenever we.
Won worlds, but he knew he was going to leave the team. He didn't want to show off everything.
Very good. Okay. Well, now I'm excited because I'm curious what Jensen has up his sleeve or nothing up his sleeve. Whenever you guys go head to head, I did interview him earlier. I brought this up in my interview with Sneaky as well, and I said, "What do you think of C9's new mid laner?" And he said, "I think he looks really good, but he might not be as good as their old mid laner." So, so I feel like he feels pretty confident too. All right. Other than that, besides Team Liquid and sort of the Jensen thing there, what are the interesting things for you about the season starting? Any interesting teams or players you want to play against, or any exciting things for you?
I mean, I think it's going to be hard. Always in the beginning of the year, I always have a hard time judging the teams because usually the best orgs usually do better in playoffs and stuff, but during the regular split, a lot of teams are usually like spiking and like seem pretty good. Yeah. So I think coming into the split, I think what's the team? Is it Clutch? The team with Lyra. They have Lyra Huni.
Yes.
Yeah, that team is going to be pretty good, I feel like.
Yeah. It's interesting to see what everybody ends up bringing. Some people have been saying Golden Guardians is interesting to them. I'm curious if you have thoughts. Okay.
They're good. They're all right.
Yeah. It's fine. I mean, you don't have to say anything. It's just like they're intriguing. A lot of people are like, oh, well, they've got all these different players. I didn't know if you had something, but I feel like you must have been scrimming them based off of your reaction just now.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, and based off of your continued lack of reaction. All right, well, we know who Cloud9's scrimming. Let's see. Final thing, the meta and the gameplays. Because at the start of every year, players are either very unhappy or they're very happy. Usually one lane is really happy and another lane is really unhappy, or the jungle is unhappy.
Oh, Sejuani's back.
What's that?
Sejuani's back. You know, you already know.
So yeah, how do you feel about the current state of League of Legends?
Worlds was too fun, so Riot had to cut it back and buff Sejuani before LCS. So.
Medios was saying he's been having a really fun time playing League of Legends, but he's heard that there's a chance that Janna and Lulu might make a return, and so he's not happy about that.
I mean, if they just kept the game the same at the Worlds for a long time, I would be very happy. But right now, I mean, jungle is still fun because there's a lot of diversity. Yeah. So if you're just good at one champ, you can actually, it's still viable. A lot of champs are just viable right now. So I like the way the game is right now. Except that, I mean, just Riot's balance team is kind of weird to me sometimes with the changes they do. Sejuani was seeing play already, and then they decide to buff her. So it just really swings makes it even more strong. So it's kind of weird.
Smithy will be happy.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say to any of the Cloud9 fans out there?
Thank you guys for supporting Cloud9.
That was great. Great way to close it out. You can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Hey, thanks so much for watching my preseason coverage. It's really important that you know this is brought to you by Alienware because they're sponsoring everything I do in 2019. It's very hype. I don't know if you've seen the video yet. It's on my channel. You can go check it out. It's the announcement video. It's great. Anyway, the point is that I'm really excited to be returning for LCS interviews this year. It's going to be rad. Those are coming up in just a couple of weeks. Until then, you've got this preseason coverage here. And if you could do me a big favor, go down and check the links in the description because there's some cool stuff down there, including, by the way, a link over to Alienware's site, dell.com/Travis. That helps me out. They just announced a bunch of cool stuff at CES, and so you can check out what they've done over there. It's really great. Can't wait to produce more content like this for you throughout the year, and stay tuned for that. Thanks so much.